First things first, guys. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and always for your continuous support. And first things first, before anything else, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It's absolutely free. Click the red button on your right hand and also that bell for always getting notified. I want to give gratitude to the returning subscribers and the new ones. I'm Miss Jackie 244. I do lifestyle vlogs and everything nice and everything in between. And today we are going to have a very interesting topic for all of you who really want to start a YouTube channel. There are a few things you need to put into place. And before that, we go ahead. We need to confirm if I'm online, and we need also to share so that some of you can join me, and as well as to know if I'm really talking to myself or you can hear me clearly. We need to figure out that. So please, as you join me, kindly bear with me. I share, just be saying hi and tell me how many of us are here. I need to understand if I'm really talking to myself. So far I can see I'm not talking to myself. So let me share this link first of all so that you can be able to join me. You join me. We have this tete-a-tete pamoja so that I think my thumbnail by now you understand what I'm about to talk. Aki nakwambia, wacha nikwambie, hawezi acha kujenga. Oh my God, Simon Koyaki, thank you so much. I see you. Sasa hao hataki wanatafuta unga, sijui nifanye nini. Siwezi waambia aache kujenga juu wanatafuta unga. So guys, I really need to share this for you guys. And thank you so much. I see you. Nakuona sana. Thank you. Sasa siwezi waambia wako kazi yao. Sasa ni hard kuambia waache kujenga kese. Hey, these are part and parcel of struggles for people who want to start channel. You have to bear with the community you live around with. You have to bear with so many things. So wacha ni share this and then we are able to go to the topic, straight to the topic, because it's good I share with you people so that you don't think it's an easy walk. I need to share to my Instagram people, my Twitter, so that they can join me as I'm live streaming, so that you can chime in as well and tell us what is the problem. Haki hawezi acha Simon. Hata nifanye nini? Sasa niwaambie aje nifanye nini haki? Hawezi. Hata wako kwa apartment ingine na huko nje, so very hard kuambia waache. Kwanza wanatafuta unga vibaya sana. Ni repair. Unaona ni repair wanafanya, so ni hard. Ni hard for me to tell them to stop haki. Hizo ndio struggles. Hizo ndio struggles za content creators. Hivi ndio tunang'ang'ananga hivyo, alafu tunaendelea tuna maisha hivyo tu, because tutafanya nini? Let me tell you guys, there's a difference of copyright and copyright strike and copyright claim. Get the difference. Copyright claim is whereby, for example, an artist or someone has done content and I decide to use their music they can claim that music of theirs. That won't have much issues on your channel. But today I really want to focus critically on copyright strike. Copyright strike is pretty heavier compared to copyright claim, because copyright strike affects the entire channel. And it's happening so much nowadays, especially when you use shorts that don't have your own content. You can really be given a strike by YouTube. And 𝐷𝐿, I want you guys to understand that YouTube is not like any other platform. I'm not trying to bash any platform, but YouTube is not like any other platform, like TikTok, like Instagram, like Facebook. This is pretty serious. It's not for jokers. So they really do take community guidelines very serious, and that's what I want to share for people who really want to start a channel. That is what I want to really share with you, so that before you start a channel, don't come with this mindset of like you can throw in any content on YouTube compared to Instagram or TikTok. I understand TikTok you can do very various things like vulgar language and all that, but in YouTube, the community guidelines, and that's why I love it so much, for the sake of bringing harmony. In every institute there are rules and regulations. So I've written several policies, community policies, that you ought to understand before you start your own YouTube channel. Because if you don't follow those community guidelines, my friend, you are liable to get a copyright strike. And copyright strike means, the first copyright strike, you are given a punishment of like an entire 1 week, and it cut across. You can be given a copyright strike because of comments, a video, basically everything, anything that you do illegally on YouTube can cause you to get a copyright strike. So as I was saying, they focused on the copyright strike. First time when you get a copyright strike is that you are given a punishment of 1 week. 1 week you can't upload, you can't go live, you can't literally do anything. And you are given also a 3 months punishment. If you are about to monetize, you won't be monetized in a span of 90 days. That is the first copyright strike. I mean, community copyright, copyright strike. And if you get a community, again, copyright strike for the second time in a span of those 90 days again, you get a second punishment, which means you're liable to not not to upload within a span of 14 days. Those are 2 weeks. And again, add to the other copyright another 90 days again. So it's pretty heavy. And if you're a newbie and you start a channel and you just start drawing videos all over without knowing the community guidelines policies, you're bound to lose your channel. And how are you bound to lose your channel? In this case, if you get a copyright strike the third time, you are eligible for your channel to be eliminated. And those are the things that people don't know, that YouTube, you just can't go throwing things all over. So like I was saying, before I forget, before we get to strikes, in YouTube you usually get warnings. And warnings, when you get warnings, you can as well appeal for the warning to be removed, or you can appeal for the copyright strike or claim to be removed. Like I said, copyright claim, for example, is when you use content that is not yours, and then that person or the distributor claims that content. Meaning, whenever you start earning you and that copyright person claimed that the person who claimed the content, you will be sharing your revenue, and that's how it works. So before I forget, there are warnings. The warnings usually get, and when you start, you only get the first warning, and when you don't hinder to those warnings in YouTube, you usually now started giving those particular copyright strike that I've been explaining to you. So this is not TikTok, this is not Instagram, this is not Facebook. You don't bring your shenanigans here and expect to thrive in YouTube. You have to be very careful what kind of content you put out there. So I came with a booklet of sharing, specifically community guidelines. It's quite a lot. I couldn't master all of them in my head, but I felt like I need to write them so that you understand when you get a strike, what kind of community guideline or community policy have you broken? So um they're quite a lot. They're quite a lot. They're quite a lot. And these policies apply to all types of content that you put on YouTube. That is, of course, videos, comments, links, and thumbnails. You just can't put a nude person as your thumbnail and then expect to thrive on YouTube. So the areas I'm going to specifically cover on community guidelines are quite like 1, 2, 3. How many of them? There are lots. This is specifically on where you're eligible to get strike. There are actually 5, but I've actually analyzed, and I've actually put in for short form for you for more information of you. If you really want more of deep explanations, you can say on the comment section that we can be doing this often for you to know, so that you can be able to be sure of what you're doing before you start those channels and before you start bringing us content and your niches and all that. So the first one is on spam and deceptive practices. If you're a spammer, this is not your place. YouTube is not your. If you're a spammer, this is not your place. And what do I mean? This is not your place because you'll get a strike. You'll get a strike vizuri sana, and soon you'll be terminated your channel. This means things like fake engagements, external links, additional policies, and impersonation. You can't spam someone. Spamming is the way, for example, like I want to get more following, so I go to someone's channel and just start spamming my links all over. You get you're eligible to be given a strike on YouTube. The second one, of course, all of you might be knowing or you don't know, it's sensitive content. Sensitive content cover a lot of things. On YouTube, sensitive content includes child safety. You can't just come and do things that will compromise children. You understand, you usually have YouTube for kids in this platform. This won't allow you to post anything anyhow, because you have to be knowing the kind of content you're putting. Is it for children? Actually, there is a place they usually ask you before you put out the content, whether it's for kids or for over 18. So if you put content that are compromising children out there, trust me, you'll get a copyright strike. So be very careful on that. 2, thumbnails. The kind of thumbnails you put, you can go putting on, like for example, copyright strike. You can get a thumbnail when you use which is not original from you, or you're using someone else, content, and you're trying to like mimic them. You're eligible to get that strike. So be super, super careful on that. Nudity and sexual content. Nudity and sexual content is not allowed on YouTube. This cut across pornography, cut across a lot of things. It's is not allowed on YouTube, can make you not even know, get monetized and all that. So nudity and sexual content, you are super eligible to get a copyright strike. The other thing is suicide and self-harm. You can't come here on YouTube and start ranting, oh my God, I want to kill myself. I feel like dying. I want to throw myself on the dam. I want to throw myself. I want to drink pills and commit suicide. Oh no, that such violent kind of content or such kind of gothic content is not allowed on YouTube. You're eligible to be given a strike. And like I said, first strike, you can appeal. Second strike, you can appeal. The third strike, your channel will be totally terminated by YouTube with no information, like without them even telling you reasons. So you can't imagine yourself, you're a newbie, you've started a channel, you build up a community, because like I said, you people, I appreciate you so much because you are my community. You have a number of community, and then all of a sudden your channel getting terminated. It's not fun, honestly. It's not good, because how can you be just all doing all this work, and then the only thing you can get from it is actually a strike. You wouldn't be happy, or you wouldn't be grateful about it. So definitely it won't be a good thing for anyone to be given a strike, So um so now, as I was saying, those that is other sensitive and sensitive content. You can't do suicide and self-harm kind of content. Vulgar language, if you have noted, all people who have been on YouTube, we rarely use the F words, the B words. You know what I mean. You can't cuss out. On YouTube, we don't, it's not entertained, or it doesn't entertain cussing out. You can be coming here and using, those cussing words on people, because definitely you are eligible to to be you're eligible to be you're eligible to be actually blocked or terminated. So you can have questions, you can still ask questions online. Right now, I will answer you any question you really want to know. I can answer you. The third one, I'm going pretty fast because with time I'll explain more things that you need to understand before you start a channel. Violent or dangerous content. And under violent and dangerous content, there's a bit few things that you need um, to know that you can be eligible to be given a strike if you do these things under violent and dangerous content. This community guideline begins with harassment and cyberbullying. You can't cyberbully people and harass people on YouTube, especially the way recently you all know the Kenyan saga that costed someone's channel. Yeah. Harassment and cyberbullying can lead you to that. Harmful and dangerous content, harmful and dangerous content is quite big across board, depending whatever niche and the nature. YouTube can really bring down the actual video that you have put, uh, placed out there, if it is really compromising community guidelines. Hate speech. You can't come hate speeching here on YouTube, on the platform, despite being your platform. That's why I'm telling you, YouTube is very critical on its community guidelines policies. This is not like any other online platform, because they usually use humans, and as well they usually use what do you call it, automated detector, so they really detect very fast that anything that is compromising the community guidelines. So if you come with hate speech on YouTube, you're eligible to be given a strike. I said today I'll focus on community copyright strike. Next time I'll focus on uh, claims, claims and their policies. So for today, I'm really specifically on the case of copyright strike, because it's very, very, very critical. That can cost your entire channel, and you can imagine you have been working through, you have been posting over 1,000 channel, and in one mistake can cost you a lot. So we were on hate speech and violent or dangerous content and violent criminal organizations. You can't have a channel of Al Qaeda, Al Shabaab. Yeah, Al Qaeda. I'm not budging on it. You can't have Al Qaeda, Al Shabaab, those vigilante kind of groups on YouTube that are actually sparking what anxiety to the community. You can't have such things on this platform. It will cost you a lot. Violent or graphic content. You see places where there is actually war, war. By the way, if you didn't know, like most of the channels in Ukraine, we usually even get a headline of when there's something going on, like the Ukraine war, how you get those updates. So you can't bring a violent graphics that are causing things like dead bodies, like those ones. You can't on YouTube, because that is compromising the community guidelines and disturbing, causing anxiety, causing a lot of, nobody wants to see bloody stuff on YouTube. Nobody wants to see bloody graphics, like, you don't have to do such content that will compromise, because that definitely will make you have a community guideline strike. So yeah, that's among them. And the fourth one, the second last, you ought to be careful on regulated goods. Regulated goods, what am I talking about? Regulated goods, you can't come here and start flossing on things like firearms. You can't come and show off your firearm on this channel. That won't work. You get? It won't really work for you. It will cost you a lot. It will cost you a lot, and it'll cost your channel. You can't come and show us your AK-47s here. You can't come and show us how much you own pistols, or you can't come and show us where you work with the government with several, firearms. You cannot do that under regulations of goods. You can't sell of illegal or regulated goods or services. What do I mean, sale of illegal? You can't have, there are platforms whereby there is merchandising. You can't come and start selling bang and cocaine as a merchandise on YouTube. You'll be given a copyright strike and find yourself being caught, because at the end of the day, you cannot come. You see, it's still a platform where you can do business, but you don't come here and start selling such things that will compromise the community guidelines, because definitely you'll have a strike having um started selling things like cocaine on or heroin or bang, or like I said, firearms. Those are things that are compromising the community guidelines policies. So you have to be super, super, super careful with the kind of content you put out there, because you're bound to be given a strike. You get it? Do you get it? Or I'm talking too fast? Yeah, you have to understand. Misinformation is the second last. Misinformation, you just don't come and lie to people. YouTube detect how much you come and lie to people information. And under misinformation, what do they lie? What are the rules that you can't break? Elections misinformations. You see, political things you can't, especially people who have political channels. You can't come here and give us fake analysis. You can't come and give things from your head. You have to have actual facts. Those are part and parcel of the misinformation docket of a community guideline that you cannot use. The other one is medical and misinformation. You just can't come here with no basics on medical issues and create a channel. If you're not a doctor, you're not a nurse, you're not a CEO, that is clinical office, you're not basically having a background on medicine and start giving people guidelines on what to do with their health. That is going to cost you having stricken by YouTube channel, because that is misinforming the actual community. So you have to be very careful with the kind of information you put out there. You have to be very careful with the kind of facts. Do you have actual? You ought to be very authentic with your content. You ought to be very don't, because most of the people do that in bid of chasing numbers and chasing views and chasing subscription. You ought to be very, very. I'm focusing on that so much because yes, they're there. Somebody will come and give you a prescription that really, 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 really. When you go to an actual practitioner, medicine practitioner, you'll find that they will say that was fake. Google was lying to you, or actually YouTube was lying to you. So I'm really focusing on that because you don't need to have um giving people information of medicine if you're not a doctor. That will give you a strike. So be very careful with the kind of communication you give your people if you're able to start a channel. The last, the last. I see two people. Welcome so much. You can say hi. You can say hi at the comment section. I get to know who it is and I give you a shout out. So thank you so much for joining. I know you have come when I'm almost done, but stick along, stick along. I'm trying to give community guidelines that can cost your channel if you really want to start a YouTube channel. So the last and not the least, like I said, I had written several of them because there are a lot. It's EDSA content. EDSA content basically mean educational, documentary, scientific, and artistic content. You need to be very, very careful with the kind of the content you bring basically on those four things I've said. Educational, that is basically school and all that. Documentary are things like the Nat Geo stuff, animals and all that. Scientific, people who do research, the kind of content you bring out. And artistic content as well is the kind of graphics that you basically. So YouTube really, 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 really regulate the content on those niches. So you ought to be as well, again, authentic and factual on what you're giving out to the community, because you'll be eligible to be given a strike. And before I leave, because I'm done, I don't know if you have ever gotten a strike if you have a channel. I have. So I'm speaking of from experience. I'm not just blabbing. It's because I've ever had one strike. And I said I'm going to share this for somebody like you out there not to get that strike. And it taught me that for me, I was under violation abuse. Violation abuse, that is, for example, that is what I wanted to tell you. I'm very usually careful nowadays to use shorts that are reposting. That's why I said in the beginning, this is not YouTube is not TikTok, it's not Instagram, it's not Facebook. So I'm not blabbing here with no experience. I've actually had a strike before. And reason of having a strike before is getting a shot that violated animals. So with my own experience, I want to tell you guys, don't go posting things are showing graphics that are more of like, yeah, it look funny, but to YouTube is more of violation of animal rights. It was a Kenyan who was showing, actually it's a clip I shared on my Instagram, a clip of no, actually WhatsApp, a clip of goat picking something, a goat picking tomatoes in the market. In YouTube, that is not, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. It was actually more of a meme of fun of how the Kenya economy has become so much to the point that you don't want to joke with your business, you don't want to joke with it. So it was more of like a fun comment, a fun clip, but it wasn't funny for YouTube. It meant that I was violating community guidelines on animals, violation of abuse. So I'm not telling you this because I think so. It's because I've experienced a strike, what it means. That community strike, like I said, it's 1 week and 90 days. So unless you finish 90 days, that is when the strike is removed, even if you appeal and even if you delete that content. So what I'm trying to say is that somebody who is trying to start a channel, you ought to have a clean slate on what you're starting. So I'm actually sharing something out of experience. Therefore, be super careful with the kind of content you put. Don't really post. Be authentic as much as you can. Be you. The numbers will still come even if the numbers will still come even if you don't get there. Just be patient with your content. Don't want quick gratification, because indeed you will have those strikes done on you and warnings. So, with no much further ado, I thank you so much, guys, for your time. I really appreciate for all the time you always take to watch my videos, my content. I don't take you for granted, guys. I started the live and decided to go bang on the content because I really wanted to get the information out and tell you guys in the shortest span time possible. So, I can talk. I can talk. So, thank you so much. Continue subscribing to my channel. If you want more of these guidelines or open up, I'm a firm believer of not being selfish with information, and I don't see, because it will, if I get selfish with the information, I mean, of what use? It won't change anything. You can't be me, I can't be you. So it's good for you to know these things in upfront before you start a channel. And I always say all the time on this platform, YouTube is not for soft-hearted people and people who want quick gratification things. It's not for faint-hearted people. So if you want to to start your own channel, I think I've shared several. Actually, there's 6 guidelines you ought to know specifically on community copyright strike. Next time, I'm going to share on community copyright claims so that you understand the difference before starting your own channel. Till next time, God bless you. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much. Say hi to everyone and tell all your friends to subscribe to my channel. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye.